All right, officially, welcome Wednesday, March 29th. I will continue uploading videos, just FYI. I got about 5 of them uploaded yesterday. So the rest will be uploaded today. So if you want to access that, I figured out the magic trick. You got to let, YouTube do its thing and let it finish. I don't know why. It won't just let me start it and then, close all the windows. But, I wanted to share a bit of an experience. And we'll talk. There's a few things that were downloaded this morning, which is if we can accept the possibility that we've surrounded ourselves with people, even if we don't know them well, but if we've surrounded ourselves with people who are meant to open up the possibilities for us, right? Oh, Emma, I'll get that for you. Yeah, it's an unlisted channel of all of the stuff that I've been doing. So yeah, I'm happy to share that with you. Thank you. If we can accept that everyone is here for a reason, for a purpose, and every interaction has a possibility of opportunity for us, like that nothing is by accident, right? That everything is divinely timed, like everything is divinely timed. We can move into the accepting, I think, the miracle of our creations and our manifestations, but even deeper than that, the miracle of who you are, right? So rather than, I think, seeking outside, looking for the miracle, the understanding that I am. So for you, it would be like you would say, I am the miracle. You are the miracle. And so everything in your experience, every experience you have then is miraculous. Like everything. Like there's no like, this is miraculous, but this isn't miraculous. And when you hear people provide you with their opinion, you can realize that their opinion is coming to you for an opportunity for you to sit with it. And then you can either let it go, or roll it around, contemplate it, and then let it go, or contemplate it and consider it, or you can just simply reject it at the beginning, dismiss it at the beginning, but always be in awareness of, are you responding or are you reacting? And I think the difference in the maturity of our awakening is when we can learn to respond more versus react. And then there'll be people in your life that you react more, right? Because like I'd like to say, and I think I am better at responding to my relationship with Rob versus reacting, but he is the person in my life that I need to work the most on responding and not reacting. He is so good for me because of that, right? Like some people would say, and have said to me, I don't know why you guys are in a relationship, because we can trigger each other, right? We're very passionate, both of us, very passionate human beings. The other day, one of my mentors said to me, do you really need to be doing the morning calls? Like, is that, is it, it was really funny. It was like, what's your return on investment of your morning call? Which is a code for, how much money are you making? Right? And I said, well, it's interesting for me because it's part of my business structure, like, right? And it's not about that, right? So she said, and my interpretation of her words was, what do you get out of it? And I said to her, I get to start my day, let's say, 365 62 days, because I think there's probably about 3 or 4 days we don't meet. So let's say 360 days of the year in a place of accessing wisdom and passing it on. It is my life purpose to do this, right? And Carrie, yeah, I get all of you and your smiles, right? And it's my life purpose. Like, this is part of what I'm meant to do. And I thought to myself, when there would have been a time that I would have looked at this, analyzed it with my head, right? Got into my head and wondered, because someone that's a mentor or a guide has questioned. And she didn't mean to question what I'm doing or question me. It was a question. Like, like it was a question. And no need for me to read into where the question came from or what her intention was, because truly said with so much love, it doesn't matter what her intention was. It was what did I respond or react to, right? And so if I can accept that she is my mirror and a creation, and her purpose was for me to be once again reminded how grateful I am that you all choose to be here with me, that you choose to invest your time to be here with me. So it's not about what do I get? Holy shit, like I get, right, a lot, right? And so it was a really interesting exercise for me. And I'm positive that divine placed it there for me as, working on some new business strategies. The Sacred Art of Business Academy is launching. The communities for CCC, Clarity, Confidence, Connection, is launching. The crossover between, right, the with the summits going on and the audience of like the participants, the community building that's happening. And I'm being questions are being posed to me on a regular basis. And some of them I can't answer succinctly. There would have been a time that I would have felt really bad that I couldn't answer it succinctly, that I didn't have the English words to express what was in my heart. And I would have questioned that I didn't know enough, and that if I can't explain it, how am I going to sell it? And I would have went into a brain pan spin. And so then what I realized was the way to express it will come when it's ready to be expressed. And some people are just going to join because they sense my heart and the love that I have for my people, my community, and they may not have any intellectual reason why, but they're going to join. And those are my people. Say, hey, I can't express this in English. You could mind meld with me. If you could see what I see, it's fucking brilliant and beautiful, right? But I can't, but you should just still come and hang out. Yeah, it's $100 a month. Right? And so how many times have you created an opportunity for someone to ask you, like, what do you do? What's your business like? And you go into this, like, I gotta come up with the fancy words, right? Gotta come up with fancy words. And you can simply just think about, what it is that you do. And you can just start with like succinct language, like meaning, like intellectual explanation, nothing really fancy. And I know that there's so many people out there saying, talk about your solution and not what you do. And I agree. But sometimes in the process of creating the brand from like the big word brand, like this is my purpose, like it's hard to find the right words to express. But especially it's difficult if you're trying to coerce someone to ask you more questions to find out about what you do. Like, so I think sometimes what happens is we're trying to come up with fancy words so that people will ask us more about what we do. And why do we do that? Because we're trying to express what we do. Okay, so why do you do that? If you do it because I want people to know what I do, so they can refer us, so they can understand, so they can hire us, right? Which are all really great reasons. There's nothing wrong with those reasons, but does it leave you feeling disconnected from your heart? Does it leave you feeling less than because you're trying to come up with a fancy, fancy word for what you do, right? Can we, for a moment while we're learning, right, a way to express what's in our heart. And I think that's the piece of it. Express what's in your heart. So yesterday I shared with all of you, right, people don't buy a hammer or a drill, they buy a hole in the wall. They have a problem, right? They don't let me, they don't lay in bed at night and go, oh my goodness, I wish I had the best business coach that channeled these cool messages during the day, that was a business intuitive, that she just, every time she spoke, she came up with some sort of idea for someone to do something because that's what she did. All of those things. Hang on, sorry guys. What would that, there you go, baby. What would that look like? Like, people don't lay in bed at night doing that. And so they don't even lay in bed at night and go, I wish there was, well, they might now. I wish there was a new way to do marketing and sales. They might lay in bed and go, fuck, I hate the way that things are set up this way. I don't resonate with what I'm hearing, right? And because I don't resonate, I'm stuck, I'm scared. Like, that might be a thing, right? So I think we can worry less about being perfect and expressing who we are and what we do. Maybe we could ask different questions, right? Like, maybe the way that we express what we do is by asking people questions, right? And Emily, I have I'm not sure, like, what, so I'm not sure what you do, because, and part of that is, we're in the messaging, it's like, sometimes it's like, I don't know. And not that I don't know what you do because of your messaging, but right. But just sometimes, like, what if we just said, have you ever been in lots of overwhelm? Right. And there's just, as an entrepreneur, there's just so many tasks that you need to take care of. And you see all the tasks, and yet what you really want to do is the thing that you love to do, Rachel, which is coaching. But there's so much, right? And so what I do is help coaches and healers and light workers, right, do the things that they know are necessary for their business, but and are spending time doing that, and versus spending time doing the thing that they want to do, which is coach, right? So then it's like, oh, now it's like, tell me more. So you still didn't tell me what you did, and you still didn't tell me the solution necessarily. You did, but in a way that you're asking me some questions, right? And so what I want to share with all of you is, maybe if you're using an elevator pitch, so we'll use specifically, or any marketing message that's not working for you, just pause. Maybe there's nothing wrong or broken with you. Maybe it's because you're trying to express it in a way that doesn't resonate with you, right? Or resonate with your audience, the audience that you're in front of at that moment of time. But what you're doing is a calling. What you're doing is a calling. And so, we could just sit with the moment. And sometimes, like, I've just been really honest with people, and I've said, you know what, I sometimes have a really difficult time sharing what I do because I'm a serial entrepreneur. So, I mean, I do a lot, right? And B, it changes. It depends on where I am, right? And so I find that, a difficult question to answer. So if you don't mind, let me ask you a question, right? What kind of struggles are you facing in your business or in your life? Code, and this isn't code for like trying to sell you anything. It's just that perhaps maybe I can express to you what I do if you share with me some of your challenges. And then they might say, yeah, I'm having a really difficult time, finding clients. And I would say something like, oh, so, so it's interesting because in the world of marketing sales, like I've grown up in marketing sales. That's been my life. I love business. I love marketing. I love sales. I love coming up with new ways for people. And what I find in the world of marketing is a lot of women that I'm talking to right now don't resonate with the current marketing message out there. Right. And so even things like we're taught to go get, achieve, chase, hunt, right? Battle for clients. So what I do is teach you a different way. What if you just could let go of that way? I don't know about you, but like I'm tired of fighting. Like I'm 54 years old. I've had my fair few jaunts of fighting to get to the top, right? And hunting, and I'm good. I'm good. So what I do is I have a different way. I bridge the old way of marketing to the new way of marketing. Right? And that's not fancy. That's one of the gazillion things that my company actually does, just like you, and one of the gazillion things that you guys do, ladies do, pardon me. So what if you just did what you're naturally good at, which is asking questions? You're naturally good at asking questions, especially introverts. Like we're amazing. I'm an ambivert, right? I can be an extrovert when I need to, but truly, I'm an introvert. Truly, I just like to sit at the back of the room and watch people and listen. Watch and listen to human behavior, right? I would prefer always just to sit, and ask people what they do versus tell people what I do. Because I'm like, what I do is it's complex. And what all of you do is complex because we're human beings. We're like multi-layered. It's not simple. And I think what's happened in the world, certainly what I'm observing, is that, what's happening is that my world of marketing and sales is trying to cookie cutter everything. Right? Well, how can you cookie cutter someone who has a unique thumbprint, right? A unique eye print, and is unique. There is no one else out there like you. So how do you cookie cutter that? And I get it. Like I do. Like I'm in a PR course and there's great information there. I'm excited to be in the mastermind. And then I leave frustrated every single time I'm there. I'm frustrated. And it's okay. The frustration's okay. Because what I realize what I'm frustrated with is everyone's trying to put everybody in a box. I don't believe we belong in a box. Everyone's trying to label everything to understand. And I understand what's going on. I understand intellectually that a confused mind can't make a decision. So really and truly, if we think about marketing, if we think about our business, and what we're really trying to do is help people find clarity, number one, and clarity to see if we are a good fit for them. But our confidence then is required to not, if it doesn't feel good, right, to not try to go back in the box, right? So strong words, stay out of the fucking box if you don't want to be in the box. Box isn't bad. Like labels aren't bad. The box isn't bad. What I'm seeing though is my peeps, we don't want to be in a box. We're like, how do I, right? How do I actually explain? So what if you just didn't go there? What if you thought, okay, someone's asking me what I do, and it's usually at some sort of event, right, or networking, and they're asking what I do. So depending on why you're there, right, so if you're at a networking event, are you there to get clients? Well, then you're in getting energy. Are you there to meet cool people? Perhaps maybe make referrals, like do referrals, find out more, make more connection. Then the pressure to get clients is gone. And you will receive the opportunity to work with people if you remove the energy of I'm at networking to get clients, right? I've built every single business. I mean, Curves we advertised, but we still did lots of networking. I still did lots of networking. And people used to say to me and my business coaches all the time, what are you getting from going there? What's your ROI? Right? And I would say, well, you know what? I don't go there to get clients. I go there to build my brand, right? I go there to create awareness of what I'm passionate about. And I go there to meet people in my community. And so when people need something in my community, I go, oh, I know someone who does that. Oh, I know someone who does that. And I did that before even, I'm sure B&I was around. Business Networking International and other networking events, right, were around. I'm just a natural connector, right? And so I wanted to know what people did because I just am naturally a connector. And so what if we didn't get into networking to get clients or to express in a fancy way what we did, right? But to get to know people and, then have, conversation. And you can, one of my gates and personalities is that I'm a little bit of a rebel, right? So at BLN, which is a networking group that I belong to, when you go there, you put in all your contact information, right? So that people can connect with you. I think I've done it once or twice out of all the meetings I've been to. But I don't put my contact information in there. I don't put what I do in there, but what I do is connect with one person a week. I make the decision of who I want to find out more about, right? Right. Because I'm not going to use, so it's a bit of the rebel in me, right? But Karen and I've talked about this a lot. How do you actually express, truly? And if you have a way, to express what we do here, you have words around that, let me know. Kim has done a great job, on the website and stuff like that, but in the short succinct sentences, if you can express what we do here, I would love feedback, because I'm like, how the hell do I express this, right? So sometimes it's just sometimes we're all just an experience, right? Let me show you what I do. Come and experience what I do. But the most important message that I keep on hearing over and over and over again this week is that you're not wrong, you're not broken, meaning you guys, right? I've heard this myself many times, right? So I'll include myself in this. We're not wrong, we're not broken, right? We just don't resonate with the old way of marketing. We're the new way. We're the new way. We're going to change the world because we don't resonate with that, right? So the gift that I was given by the person asking me, so I'll kind of tie this back together. The gift that I was given by the person asking me, why do I do this, right, is because I have to, and not in the sense of I have to, other than the sense of I have to, like from my heart, like I have to, like there's no, this is part of my life. This is a huge part of what I meant to. That's what I mean by I have to. And B, having people who love me, who only want the best for me, will question what I do. Just like for you, people that love you or have a vested interest in you are going to question you. But that doesn't mean that they're right or you're wrong, or you're right and they're wrong. They're there as an opportunity for you to pause and go, that's a great question, right? Why do I do this? That's a great question, right? And they don't need to understand. They don't need to understand why you do things or what you're doing, right? And the thing is, lots of times I think we want to express or position ourselves or to justify because we want to belong. We want to belong. And it's natural for us to want to belong to a tribe. Like we are human beings and we are meant not to be in solitude, right? We're meant to be in community, which is why in prison, if you misbehave, they take you to solitude, they punish you. That's a punishment, to be in solitude. We're meant to be in community. So of course we want to belong. So it's not wrong or bad, but it allows us the opportunity to not justify who we are. And justifying who we are is different than belonging. It's a different energy. I want to belong, but I also don't need to justify who I am, right? Because it doesn't matter. There may be no understanding from people, right? And eventually what I found in my own experiences, when I came to that place of, I don't need to belong to other tribes, like maybe I meant to build my own tribe. And then in doing that, then there was a belonging, because I really thought there must be other human beings that feel like I do, which is like, all of that's just really crazy now. Like, that's just like, that doesn't make sense anymore. So there's that piece of it. And there's the piece of it with the opportunity of sensing that there is nothing wrong with me. And I might not be able to explain what I do in the way that other people want me to explain. And it's great information for me to have and look at how everyone else is explaining. But I'm like, those just feel like fancy words that you're trying to coerce me into having a conversation, right? And so I don't want to use fancy words to coerce, right? The energy that I want is, sometimes it's hard for me to explain what I do, but I'm happy to have conversation with you, right, about what I do. But to say it in 30 seconds so that, like, I intrigue you with a hook, so you want to connect with me, how about we just, like, I don't know, connect. This is a very different way. My way is not right. My way is a different way. And for the regular way of marketing and, the 30s elevator, 60-second elevator pitch works for a lot of people. And for some of us, it doesn't. So we can continue just, what do you do? I'm a sacred art of business coach. That's what I do, right? I can keep it really simple. 10 seconds, right? 10 seconds or less, right? The last time I did that, someone said, well, one of my mentors, she's like, people won't connect with you. And I said, they will. The right people will. And if someone's not interested in the word of sacred art or business or coach, then they won't. And that's okay. Right. So it goes back to all of those things. Why are we doing what we do? Why do you, right? So I'm just going to check the chat here and I will stop the recording just in case.